Hey, it's Willie Crawford here, and I am doing a Facebook Live on this Tuesday, September 3rd, where our topic is going to be time management and how not to have Facebook and other social media platforms keep you from getting things done that you need to get done. I actually wanted to title it Is Facebook and Social Media a Waste of Time, a total waste of time for business owners? And so that's what I want to discuss with you today. Um, I am recording this. Well, Facebook automatically records Facebook Live. So, 10 minutes after we wrap this up, then the recording will be available for you to share wherever you choose to share it. And I hope you will share it with your followers, your friends on Facebook. I see John Mellinson's joined us. My friend Chuck Burke's joined us. Mark Schroyer has joined us. I thank you guys for tuning in today. Again, we're going to be looking at time management and whether or not Facebook is a good tool for you to use to build your online business. You know, we're all busy people, and yet I know for a fact that the majority of the people I personally know, uh, including loved ones, spend you know as much as 4 or 5 hours a day just hanging out on Facebook. Many of us tell ourselves we're working while we're on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, but the reality is we often aren't. And I see Phil Gilks has joined us. I hope I pronounced his name right. We've never talked, but we're friends. We interact a lot. And Andre Hayward, who's a musician friend. Hi, Andre, thanks for joining us. And today we're basically looking at whether or not Facebook and LinkedIn and all those social media platforms are a total waste of time. Now, for me, they're not a total waste of time. In fact, I do more coordination on Facebook using Instant Messenger or Facebook Messenger than I do using email and text messaging combined. And the reason I do that is because for some reason, everybody's on Facebook, and people that are hard to reach, you know, the gurus, the celebrities, you know, people who you think are impossible to reach. Often you just ping them on Facebook, send them a message via Facebook Messenger, or even post their wall. For some reason, they respond. So it's a secret to getting people to respond. It's not good to post something on their wall that's going to embarrass them. Like, hey, I've been trying to reach you for a week. Where are you? That's better in a private message. Think about the fact that there are 7.5 billion people on Facebook. And so while you think, hey, I'm posting on Willie's wall, well, there's a good chance that half the world's going to see this. And so think about what you're posting on social media. A lot of friends I know noticed they don't think or realize that the world is reading what they share on social media. So you need to be cognizant of that. I see my friend Joel Orlando, who lives here in Niceville, where I live, Niceville, Florida, which the storm is not forecast to affect very much, except maybe some rain. Uh, you know, uh, so it's nice and sunny here and forecast to be sunny throughout the week. But a lot of my friends up the East Coast don't have such optimistic forecast. Anyway, I want to glance at my notes. I'm half asleep because I worked on a couple of projects late last night, and I'll catch my sleep later today. Uh, First thing about being on social media is I think you need to use what my friend Dr. Ron Capps, for those of you who don't know Ron, he used to call himself Niche Prof, which stands for Niche Professor. Ron is a college professor, so he's a real prof. And I used to hang out with him at seminars and conferences all the time. I have several things in my bookcase and around my office that he gave me as gifts. I gave him gifts. But Ron had this saying. He said Twitter was really big back then. It was more popular than Facebook. I was on Twitter first, probably for 3 or 4 years before I got on Facebook, and I've been on Facebook now for over a dozen years. And actually, I've been at 5,000 friends and followers, 5,000 friends, about 3,000, 3,500 followers for about 5 years now straight. People will drop out, people will request to add them, and so I'm always at near my limits there. And actually, I need to go in and delete people I don't really interact with. I encourage you to do that too. But Ron had this saying. He said retweets are the currency on Twitter. And what he meant was when you retweet what someone else shares, you do a number of things. One is you show that you don't consider only your opinion important. You're sharing other people's opinions. You're building up other people. And at the same time, you're providing more value to your followers on Twitter because you're sharing thoughts. And what connects us on Facebook and social media in general is when you share a thought that other people resonate with. So when you share something that other people are thinking and it resonates with them, they're going to like it. They're going to share it. A lot of times they won't share it. They'll like it. And so on Twitter, after you post a tweet, as you post a tweet, you include RT please, which stands for retweet please. And on Facebook, I often put please share this. It costs you nothing really to share a Facebook post that you like. Just hit the share button and share it. But you're building karma, you're invoking the law of reciprocity. People are saying, well, Chris Elliott, who just joined me, and Craig Pierce, you're saying they always share my post. I like them. I like the fact they share my post because it's, first of all, helping me out. It's building me up. Excuse me. So it's good to share people's posts. And again, it costs you nothing really, unless that person is disreputable or something. And then in that case, you don't want to be sharing things they post because people do look at, okay, who does this person associate with? Who does this person resonate with? Do I really want to be seen as somebody who hangs around and likes this person? So you need to think about that too. But retweets are the currency on Twitter, and shares and likes are the currency on Facebook. So I encourage you to start sharing and liking things. Now, Ron Capps taught what he called economy in action. Okay, he said you don't have time to be on all the platforms all day, every day. So when you make a blog post, you need to configure your blog so that it automatically shares in a place. Like my blogs, I have a number of them. I have numerous blogs. Some of them are configured so that when I make a blog post, it automatically pings Twitter and Facebook and a number of other social media sites. It also automatically pings blog aggregators, so it sends out notices to these sites saying, hey, Will has just updated his blog. It also pings Google. So it says to Google, Willie just updated his site. And all these places, they will go and take a look at your blog, and in the process, they will see that it's frequently updated, and that helps you to helps your search engine optimization. And it's something that you don't have to do extra. You don't have to go over to Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn individually and share your blog post. You can just use a plugin on your WordPress blog that pings things. And I do that with a lot of things. And I do that on Facebook. I believe in automation. And so I use a lot of tools that allow me to, I can queue up right now if I wanted to 100 Facebook posts using a tool that I won't mention right here. But I could queue up 100 Facebook posts or upload a spreadsheet and have it post automatically. Now, the problem with that is people like to interact with you on social media. So if they know that every one of your posts is, something that you queued up a month in advance, they'll stop following. We crave the interaction. Social media is social. It's about being social. So it's a balancing act. It's using tools to help you, and so you're not spending all day, every day on social media sites, but you do need to drop by these sites and actually interact with people. I honestly, it looks like I'm on Facebook all the time. I have times scheduled when I drop by certain social media sites, and the first thing I do is I check my Messenger because I use, again, Facebook Messenger as a tool for mostly coordinating on projects I'm working. So I'm working with joint venture partners, I'm working with students, I'm working behind the scenes on all kinds of things. And again, I find Facebook Messenger to be more effective a lot of times than email. First of all, Facebook Messenger, you know, the message is going to sit there in their inbox until they read it or although if they get as many messages as I do, sometimes it's on page 5 or 10 or whatever. So, I may not see it, but then every now and then I'll sit down and I'll scroll through messages page after page after page and delete a lot of things like 100 different cutesy graphics and things like those. I get so many of those some days. In fact, people will often share graphics with their friends, and then their friends will turn around who are friends of mine, and they'll all share. I'll have 10 people share the same graphic with me. So, you know, I go through and I delete those because it can get overwhelming. I see that Scott Logan's joined us, Max Cantor, James Foster, Ade Lamide, who's over in the UK. He's joined us. A lot of you guys I owe emails, responses to things that we're working on together, and I'm working to get caught up on those. I And I will get caught up in the next day or two. It's just that in the last 2 weeks, I have taken on a lot of projects, some of which I probably should have not taken on all at the same time. I tend to, I don't multitask. In fact, the term multitasking it's an oxymoron. You can't multitask. Hi, Scott. Human brain can only focus on one thing at a time. What it can do is rapidly switch back and forth between tasks. So you focus on this, then you focus on that, then you focus on this, then you focus on that. You think you're multitasking, but the human brain cannot focus on two tasks at the same time. It's impossible. Okay. Um, what was I going to do? Let me look at my notes real quick. Um, so First of all, I think you need a plan with social media. When you go online, oh, I forgot to mention, you like my jacket. I shared a picture of me in undergraduate navigator school back in '83. Um, at Mayfair Air Force Base, a new class started every 2 weeks with 60 brand new second lieutenants. And when I was going through, about half of those lieutenants made it through the training. The other half either got left the Air Force or went to other jobs in the Air Force, but they did not become aviators. It was up and down. It depended on the needs of the military. If there was a war going on, or for some reason they needed to pass a higher number of students going through, then they um, made the passing requirements more lax. When I was going through, I think it was more like a 60% success rate. So 40% washed out. And a lot of people who failed actually I considered a lot smarter than I am. And so, I looked at the picture that my friend Greg Frederick posted in another group last night, and I shared that on my timeline. And the way you do that is, the way I did that is, when you look at a picture on a page or in a group, or whatever, and you like it and you want to share it, you can hover over the page, and down on the bottom, there's a menu that will pop up that's gives you, it's like option or something like that. And one of those options is download. So I downloaded the photo to my desktop. I named it something where I could find it real quick. And I shared it over on my timeline. And Greg and I were uh, college classmates, and we went to navigator school about the same time, and we were classmates in nav school, as was my friend Paul Giron. And so now we're all in our early 60s, and we're still friends. We're lifelong friends. That's the powerful thing about the military in particular. But anyway, I shared that picture, and that caused a lot of people, brought back a lot of memories, but it also caused a lot of people to resonate with me. So, people who were military could relate to that. And so that's what social media is about. But I wanted to share with you one resource today, which is and I want you to go check it out, and I want you to get it. And this is an affiliate link. It's for a product. My friend David Perdew, who is the founder of NAMS, he has a product called Daily Content Profits. And what Daily Content Profits is it's a huge package that includes a series of checklists that he uses to make sure that he and his team pushes out lots and lots and lots of content online every day, because content is what being in front of your audience constantly is what matters on social media in particular. And yet you can spend all day, every day doing that if you're not organized. So David came up with this incredibly detailed series of checklists of things that he does and things that he has his team members doing. And so he's making those available to you as a for sale product. So again, this is a tracking link. Let David know that I sent you, and I do get a commission if you purchase it. But I wouldn't recommend it if I didn't believe in it. I have a saying that I've had for a long time, which is no man has the right to play with another man's dreams. And so I don't recommend products and services that I don't use. Now, some of them, I purchase or request to review a copy of, but I always go through them and I test them. If it's a piece of software, I'm going to upload it to my server. I'm going to test it before I recommend it, and I'll point out to you flaws in the product or service. But again, I'm sharing the link to David's product because tonight at midnight Eastern, he's going to increase the price on it. So this is not a scarcity play. I don't care whether you get the product or not, but I do want to recommend it to you. I want you to check it out at least. And the price is going up tonight, and then it'll stay at that bumped up price until September 12th, when it will go up again. So if you don't get it today, price is going up, and it'll stay increased somewhat until the 12th, and it'll go up again. So I'm telling you all this because I mentioned David. David and I, we go back at least a dozen years, before David even launched NAMS, which was back then called the Niche Affiliate Marketing System. He later changed NAMS to stand for Novice to Advanced Marketing System. And I think I spoke at David's very first seminar or workshop, and I taught at that, and he had like 10 or 12 workshops. I taught at about a third of them. So I've got all these videos and pictures of me hanging out with literally hundreds of people who went through his workshops over time. David and I, we totally resonate. We think the same for a number of reasons I won't get into, but we both believe in delivering tremendous value into our customers' lives. The challenge with being an information marketer in particular is it's fairly easy to sell a product or service to someone, but they won't benefit from it unless they use it. And so the challenge becomes, I don't want to sell you something if you're not going to use it, but I can't force you to use it. And the way David handles that is he has a membership inner circle site, or whatever you want to call it, where the members, they all help each other out. They all work together. They all encourage each other. So it's like a one big family. And if you check out any of David's products, you're going to hear about the NAMS Insider Club is what it's called. So you've got hundreds of people literally all working together and sharing tools and resources. And that's how David makes what he teaches work. Anyway, go check out his product at the link I just gave you. If you get it before midnight tonight, I'll get credit for the sale. I'll make a few dollars commission, but I wouldn't recommend it again if I didn't believe in it. It's checklist. It's some tools, a lot of free tools he gives you the link to. There are things that he points out, tools that you can actually import databases and things like that into. He gives you those databases as a part of his package. And then he points out a lot of resources that you can check out. Some are free, some aren't, but he pulls it all together in this package. So I highly recommend that you check it out. if you do end up getting David's package, let's see, people in the internet marketing space in particular are accustomed to getting bonuses for purchasing through somebody's link. So if you purchase through my link and you forward your receipt to me, my email address is willie.crawford@gmail.com. I get a lot of email at that address, but I use Gmail instead of one of my other email addresses, which I forward a lot of my email to. I use Gmail because Gmail is very good at filtering spam. And so the emails that Gmail senses are relevant, they go right into my inbox. A lot of them go to to a promotional folder, which I check. I scan once a day. And then some go to my spam folder. I do scan my spam folder, but I do that very quickly because it's fairly easy to spot spam. So when you email me, I don't mind you email me. That's why I gave you my email address. I will get back to you as soon as practical. I read all my emails, but it's possible I might miss something. So that's why I also give you permission to contact me directly via Facebook Messenger. And I even give out my phone number from time to time, my cell and my text number, but I prefer not being called because I do a lot of things like this recording, where if my phone went off now, could mess up a recording if I were working on something that someone was creating. Someone was interviewing me, for example, for a for sale product. And now they got to go back and edit out the phone ringing, or maybe not. But that's something to think about. So I turn off my phone ringer usually, and so I do give people my cell and text number, especially my customers. I'm sort of rambling a little now. So anyway, go check out David's product, and if you get it, I have a free report that I'll give you, and that report's called "How to Seamlessly Build Your List While Promoting Someone Else's Affiliate Product." And you can do this promoting your own products, but a lot of you don't have your own products and you're affiliate marketers. For those of you who are in the internet marketing space, an affiliate marketer is someone who, because they recommended a product, they get a commission when someone purchases it. I'm an affiliate marketer. I have been since 1996, before they even called it affiliate marketing. And but I also have probably 200 of my own products, most of which I sell myself and don't even use affiliates for, because I find I'm more effective at selling than a lot of them are. And sometimes it's just not worth the trouble, because affiliates do things that can impact your brand, can get you in trouble with payment processors, if they mess things up a lot, they can. So, it depends on how ethical they are. I use platforms like the link I gave you, so Warrior Plus. Another my users called JB Zoo. They both encourage you, when you have an affiliate program, to only approve people that you know or that you've checked out to be your affiliate, because they are representing you. I'm getting off on a tangent there, so I don't want to get too into that. When you get David's product, which again, in my notes, because I've looked at so many things. It's called Daily Content Profits. It's checklists, it's tools, it's resources. When you get that, forward your receipt to me at willie.crawford@gmail.com, and I will give you a report that I've written called "How to Seamlessly Build Your List While Promoting Someone Else's Affiliate Product." Okay, so just forward that to me to claim your bonus. Another thing I've noticed is that, and we're on the topic of basically focus. How do you avoid Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest and all the other social media sites from becoming a total time suck? And I read somewhere that there are over 1 billion blogs on the internet. So I have a tendency to find certain people that I resonate with, and I will frequent their blogs to read things that they've posted a link somewhere on social media about, usually, or mentioned in an email. And I go over and I read that item, and then sometimes I'll get sucked in and I'll read 5 or 6 other things in their blog while I'm visiting. So considering that there's over 1 billion blogs on the internet, that's one for every 7 people on the face of the planet. When you consider that a lot of these people are um, children, and they're not business owners, rather, but children can have blogs too. Parents should sort of supervise them. But, it tells you there's a lot of things out there that are distractions. Speaking of distractions, I watch very little television. In fact, I have two TVs in my house, and I've not sat down and watched a single television show this calendar year at my own home. When I'm visiting other people, and they're watching, I don't know, football game or a boxing match, a pay-per-view boxing match or something like that, we all gather and we sit around sipping alcohol or whatever beverage. I'm into water and, you know, Sprite or whatever. But when I go to someone's house, I am very social, and so I do watch television with them, but I don't watch it at home. I do watch a lot of YouTube videos, which I learn a lot from, and in fact, I've developed favorites that I like to tune into, and I've mentioned several times in recent times that I'm going to an award ceremony in New York City on the 26th to the 20th of this month. A lot of the people that I follow on social media will be or have been nominated for awards. And so I anticipate meeting a lot of those people. I anticipate interviewing a lot of those people, either interviewing them or having them interview me for later broadcasts as podcasts and things like that, or to put in products. So I've mentioned that several times in other Facebook Lives. I won't get into that today. What I did want to do was, though, I have a report called, it's not a report, I have a two MP3 audio set called How to Be Relentless, okay? And How to Be Relentless teaches you how to develop extreme focus. I personally, when I'm working on a project, will sit down, I'll allocate maybe an hour of time. I'll sit down, I'll unplug my phones, I'll ignore the doorbell, I will hang a sign on my office door. I work mostly out of an office in my home, which is where I'm at right now. I've ordered a big banner to hang on the wall behind me that'll give a better background because that's just a wall behind me. But I hang a sign on my door saying, do not disturb, or broadcasting or whatever. So when my daughter comes over, or my son-in-law, or my grandkids, or my wife is up and about doing things, they all know not to disturb me because I tend to not yell at them, but I tend to express my displeasure that they interrupted me while I was in the middle of recording something like I'm doing now. So my wife, for example, knows that right now I'm making a recording. That's how I handle that. And so anyway, I have extreme focus. So I'll work for an hour and I'll really, really, really concentrate. And I have a 2 MP3 audio set called How to Be Relentless. Because I didn't grab the link to where you download that, I asked you to email me. I gave you my email address, which is willie.crawford@gmail.com. If you email me and request that, I'll tell you where to download that free of charge. I didn't create that recording. Those recordings, there's two parts to it. But one of my mentors created it, and he tells you how to get things done by, first of all, having a burning reason why you want to get it done. You need to have a compelling reason why. And then when your reason why is strong enough, you won't let anything stop you from getting it done. So I'll give you that 2 MP3 set, which I have loaded in my iPhone. When I'm out walking or riding around, if my wife's driving, I'm as likely as not to have my phone plugged in, or my earphones in, and I'm listening to something like that, which just reminds me of how to be extremely focused, how to have extreme focus. And I often say that I get more done in a day than many people get done in a month. That's actually true, and it's because a lot of people tell themselves they're working when they're not. They're on Facebook and they're saying, "Oh, I'm working," but at the end of the day, you find you spent 5 or 6 hours on Facebook and you've got nothing accomplished. That doesn't happen to me. Today, I have 2 checklists that I need to get into the hands of a lot of people, and yet I'm going back through and proofreading those as soon as I wrap up this Facebook Live, which I need to end soon. I've already gone 30 minutes. I didn't plan on going that long. Anyway, if you want a copy of How to Be Relentless, which again is a 2 MP3 audio set, all you need to do is reach out to me. You can do that via Facebook Messenger, or you can email me, willie.crawford. That's Willie and then the period Crawford at gmail.com. I've already put that in the window there, and I'll get that to you free of charge, because I use that to remind me of how to focus and how to get things done. And again, I get a lot of things done. Let me glance at my notes and make sure before I wrap up that there was nothing else I wanted to cover with you today. See, I was going to recommend Davis' organizational tool, which again is checklists, it's tools, it's resources that he and his team uses. Again, the price goes up at midnight tonight. I wanted to offer you the free audio set, How to Be Relentless, and you can email me and I'll get that to you. And also, if you get Davis' product, I wanted to offer you a copy of a report I've written called How to Seamlessly Build Your List. If you're an internet marketer or online marketer, you know the importance of having an email list so that it for many people will become your most important business asset. If you lost everything else, you could still reach out to people because you have that email list. And you could also have a text messaging list or a ton of other different lists, but you need a list if you're running a business. If you run a brick and mortar business, you need to be collecting email addresses and cell phone numbers so that, say you run a bar, you want to remind people via text message, you have some band over at your bar that night, bar or nightclub, or you're running a 2-for-1 special on whatever, and you send that broadcast out via text message right before people are getting off work and then they're planning the evening, or you own a barbershop or a beauty parlor, you send out a text message on your slow days at your slow time saying, hey, we're not busy right now. Come in for a haircut or a hairstyle and get 10% off or whatever. And all of a sudden, slow time when most of your barbers are sitting around doing nothing becomes a busy time. And all that is about reaching out to your customers, but you need that list. So I teach local business owners, brick and mortar business owners, to build that list. And again, it can be a text message list, it can be an email list, it can be a chatbot list, although I've noticed a lot of people who are building these chatbots or don't know how to use them properly. And so they become annoying at times. And I have in recent times found myself unsubscribing from chatbots for that reason. You don't bombard people with 1,000 messages, every day. They're going to unsubscribe. I do, I appreciate chatbots. I have several, but don't bombard people with message after message after message from your chatbot. There's a proper way to do it in a way that annoys people. People don't mind hearing from you via email or text message or chatbot as long as you're delivering value into their lives. If you're not, then they're going to ignore you or unsubscribe. I think ignoring you is worse than unsubscribing because you're typically like, you have an email list, you're paying often for the number of subscribers in your database. And if 90% of them are ignoring you, you're paying for all that capacity when it's not benefiting you. So, you don't want people to ignore you. You'd rather not have them subscribed in your database. My cousin Rita says she's getting ready for work, so she gave me her phone number. She gave the world her phone number. So I'll get in touch with her. My cousin Sandra Parker says, I'm telling the truth. Sandra and I hung out together at a family reunion at the beginning of July. And I had not met Sandra in a long time, but Sandra spent time living with my grandmother when she was a child, and she knew my great-grandparents, whom I never met. They passed away before I was born, so it was sort of nice connecting with family members. And again, social media to me is all about connecting with people in a very real way. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I do plan on doing another Facebook Live tomorrow. I'll try to fit it in at the same time so that I can let you guys know in advance, and you can plan on tuning in if you'd like to. I do again ask you to share this Facebook Live. Again, those of you who are on the Facebook Live, I ask you to share this recording as soon as it's available. I see Daniel's joined me. I think Daniel and I hung out together on some of the marketers cruises, of which I've been on. I've been on like a dozen cruises in the past decade, probably more than a dozen cruises, because I've gone with different groups and with family members. I'm wearing my Air Force jacket because I mentioned earlier that I'm connected with a lot of my old Air Force friends. I have two of these. The Air Force gave these to us back around '84, and they used it as a retention tool. They said we can make these aviators feel a connection with the past. They'll stick around longer because we were getting out left and right. So they gave us jackets that were leather jackets. Back in the day, flying a bomber or a fighter airplane without a heat often it was very cold at altitude, and so they wore leather jackets and all kinds of thick thermal underwear, whatever. And so the Air Force gave us aviators a jacket that they hope would make us feel a connection with the past. You can see I've got my patches on it, my name tag, and all that stuff. I actually have two of these, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give one away. I'll announce how on a later date, but the jacket is priceless to people who are into that type of thing. And I'll even have a custom name badge made up for you, that says your name and whatever else you want. And I'll figure out how to do that. I have a spare one, and I don't know how I got the spare one, but I have two of the same jacket. And I'll figure out later how to give that away. I'll let you know. But I wore 44 regular, and you can see I still fit into it. In fact, I'm lighter now than I was when I retired from the military, so it's almost too big. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I thank you guys for your attention. I rambled on for almost 40 minutes. I apologize. I'm constantly preaching to people I work with, either as clients or I mentor, that they need to be brief of Facebook Lives, and I turn around and do just the opposite. So thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do a few things, and I'm going to get some checklists out to people that are waiting for them, and then I'm going to get a little sleep so that I look less tired, because I'll be less tired. So you guys have a nice day. Thanks again.